Right, so this is going to be the new gun, or it's not so much new, not a lot has changed, but it's just kind of made it easier now that new things have been added into the game. So here is the old way, and what I'm going to do is I'm not going to go through everything. I'm not going to go through setting up the shot and the physics, the effects and stuff like that. What I'll do is I'll link to the old video, because that's pretty much all the same. Only difference being, where I use splitters, you don't actually need the splitters. You can just link up each event through the filter option in the properties. So I'm just going to show you how to get the bullet to travel, and then you can go back to that video and watch it, because there's still a lot more detail on there. Also, I'll show you how to do an ammo counter. But yeah, let's crack on. So this is the old way, and essentially what you've got is you've got the interval trigger, the object position event, 3 curve data sources, and 6 of these position info data sources. And basically your gun's down here. You've got the dummy object on the front and the one where you want the bullet to end. It's only a short one, but you can make that as long as you need. So 3 of these object position events go to this data source, which is where you want the bullet to start from, and these 3, as you can see it says end, they go to this one because that's where you want the bullet to end. Object position event is our local unchecked and all that good stuff, and then it's attached to the bullet. So if I press select, the bullet is just going to keep going through the cycle. Obviously you just need to watch the other video so you can learn out how to turn them on and off and stuff. But this is the new way, and as you can see it's a lot easier. There's hardly anything to it. The only thing that's actually the same is the object position event and the interval trigger. I haven't linked it up, so I'll show you how you do that now. So in the object position event, uncheck the local box and then hit Y on position X, Y and Z, and just attach them all to this here, which is our curve vector data source. So it's exactly the same as one of these data sources, just that it's now vector. And what that means is you can have more than one set of positions in at any given time, kind of thing. It gets a little bit confusing, but basically these positions here, you can just have like an unlimited amount of these attached to one data source, kind of thing. But with this curve vector data source, you're going to also need vector object info, which is exactly the same as these, just that it's not 3 anymore, it's just 1. As you can see the 0.003 times, which is exactly what these are separately. So you just click these, select object. You've got to remember which one's which. So this one I'm going to attach to this dummy object, so that's going to end up being my start vector. That's what I'm looking for. Then on this one we just attach it to this. Go ahead and take this off so it doesn't actually move. Get rid of this. Right, so now in here, start vector, it's going to be on this one, end vector is going to be on this one. Your duration, looping wants to be checked. This is all the same as the curve data sources, you just using 1 now instead of 3. So go back to that other video and you'll see exactly how to set all this up. So now, no, if I press select it won't do anything because I haven't attached this to the bullet. So now the exact same thing happens, just a lot easier and a lot more efficient, really. Alright, so I've got my basic set up here. You can, like I've said, you can go back to the other video and if you haven't already learnt this bit. But basically, when I press the right trigger, turns it on and off, turns the effect on, turns the sound on, which is the gun fire, new sound, so it sounds real nice. And then right here, this is an ammo system. So let's just go ahead and play and I'll show you what happens. So we've got 10 bullets up in the top there. Every time I shoot the gun, bullet will decrease, and once it gets to 0, pressing the gun then will just make a sort of clicking sound until I hit Y, which will reload again. So this is how it is all set up. This is how it all works. So first off, get yourself a variable data source and a set value event and another controller gas. So essentially what you want to happen is every time you press the right trigger, it will go to this set value event, which will decrease by 1 every time it's pressed, and that set value event goes to this variable data source, which you want to be set to the value is however many bullets you want in the gun to start with. So then from there you're going to want to take whatever button you want for reload. I'm using Y for this one, and have it go to a sound effect and the reload sound and another set value event set to 10, or the amount of bullets you want it to reload by. It must be set, well, it must be, the type must be set. If you increase it, it might go off a number or something stupid like that. So then next you're going to want to go ahead, next you want to go ahead and get one of these out, a generic filter. They're found in the filter section. Set it to less equals comparison value 1. You want to hit Y on that and attach it to your variable data source. So just press A on that and it will go straight to there. And then comparison value 2 is 0, because that's the amount. When it reaches that amount, that's when you want things to start happening, like to stop the effects and stop you from being able to shoot and so on. And then in this, select true event and select false event. Basically, when the number does equal 0, it will do this and this and this, and that's the true event. When the number doesn't equal 0 is the false event, and that will do other things. And all that is doing essentially is turning off and on the trigger, so the button you use to fire. So you get a state event, off, select event, and you want to select this here so it stops decreasing by 1, and also this here, which will be the trigger that sets off all the effects and sounds and stuff. You can probably, well, you can do this all in one. I just choose to do it separately just to show you more clearly how it's done. So you can just have one right trigger and it goes to all this stuff as well. It's all linkable. And then you want another state event set to on, which goes to another trigger. You do want this one, which goes to a sound event which plays. I've just got the shotgun reload and I've turned the pitch right up. It makes a kind of clicking sound. So then every time you press the right trigger, then when the number equals 0, it will play that sound and nothing else. And then on the false event, you just need to copy these two out and switch them round. So if you notice, this one's off and this one's on, this one's on, this one's off, but they're all going to the same things. So just copy these two, switch them round, so the on one will now be an off one, and yeah, and then you put it as on false, and you link all these up by filter, which I said in my previous gun tutorial I did use splitters, but at the time I didn't know that that was the case, so you don't actually need splitters. I think that is pretty much it. You can also have it so when the number does equal 0, this on thing here, you can also take it to this Y, so you can only reload when the gun's out of ammo. It might be better that way, because Like, you could never run out of ammo this way. You can just keep pressing it before it goes out. But yeah, that's pretty much it.